or... Okay.
Hello?
Alright, I can hear you now. Okay.
I hope I don't sound like... Like, what do I sound like right now?
You sound pretty fine. It's not like clipping the mic or anything.
Okay.
Oh, and Darkholic's back. Hi. Welcome. This is gonna be, just FYI, folks, this is gonna be a really short stream today. Because I have to get up really early, and my sleep schedule has been pretty terrible in the past 3 or 4 days.
Yeah, I don't mind.
So, I hope you don't mind, like, a short, quick stream. I'm gonna devote an hour to each of the games that I'm gonna be playing, which is just your standard fare at the moment. I'm planning to start Undertale Genocide soon, and have like
Oh, nice.
just kind of like break up the Mother 3 block, like half Mother 3, half Undertale for that block, and then devote the rest to Super Metroid.
That'll be really cool.
Yeah. So yeah. So I'm probably gonna start that idea tomorrow, and if not tomorrow, the day after. But yeah, today's just gonna be some Mother 3, so let's get started with that. Pull that up. There. Okay. Fix window placement. Alright. Okay. And here we are. Alright. We're in chapter 7, and I forgot what we're doing. Crap. Oh, okay. Alright, I know what we're doing. We're, I think taking the train. If I recall this part correctly. Alright, so what we have to do now is take the... Yeah, okay. We're gonna take the train to the Chimera Laboratory, even though we're going to have to walk part of the way there. Let's see. Oh, wait. How many cash rooms do I have? And I'm gonna take the expensive train, just because the music there is better. And also note that there's no actual change depending on what train you decide to use. It's just the music change, and also the color of the train you're riding in. Oh crap! I freaking pressed save. Yes. Geeky stuff. There. And we've got the cash for it. Yes. Yes. And now we get to watch train cutscene. which is another reference to Mother 1, because Mother 1 had a train cutscene. And here we are. You know, speaking of which, Darkaholic, I was actually about to talk about that. A lot of people made comparisons to the Green Train music. A lot of them compared it to, I think it was Pokemon Black and White's surfing theme. Like the theme when you surf on a Pokemon. A lot of people compared it to that and were saying that, oh, they must have referenced that. But in actuality, like, I can see what they're talking about, but I don't really see the comparison too much. If you really want, just look up Black and White surfing theme. And you'll be able to judge for yourself whether or not it sounds similar. Like, it's got a similar tone to the train theme. But if you really want to draw comparisons to Mother and Pokemon themes, just look at Route 113 in Pokemon Ruby and Sapphire version. Because that is literally freaking just a hot version of Snowman. Are you kidding me? It does this right now. And these enemies you see here are a tougher version of the squawking sticks. And they're just basically landmines, so walking into them will just get them to blow up in a few turns. And before I move on and go over to the Chimera Laboratory, I'm gonna try and face one of those cattle snakes that we saw earlier, last chapter, and see whether or not I can actually defeat those. And I have a feeling that I might actually not do it just because those things are freaking tough. I don't even think there's a hot spring near here. Actually, hold on. Let's save it for... Yep, the frogs. Wish these guys would stop spawning in the middle of the path I need to take.
You know, I'm thinking maybe I could stream after you get off.
Yeah. Yeah, okay.
I don't think it'd be Minecraft.
I wouldn't mind that.
As much as I don't want to say this, I think I'm starting to get a little burnt out, but... I mean, Minecraft's weird because I'm thinking, I'm getting burnt out, and then I play it, and I just play it for hours and hours.
Yeah. That's pretty much, like... I don't know, I think every game has gotten that way for me over time. Yeah. And I'm sure other people have also had experience that can relate. Just where you play a game so much, it's just like... It's just like, it's nothing new, but then for some reason when you play it, you're like, oh, this is really fun. And then you just play it, and then as soon as you stop playing it, you're like, I'm not gonna play that again for a while. And then you play it again, and it's like, wow. That was Skyrim for me. That was literally the entirety of Skyrim. Like, Skyrim is basically an inventory game. You just looking through your inventory your entire game because it's so packed full of stuff. And so you could spend hours on the game doing nothing productive other than organizing your inventory and selling stuff or whatever. And so I stopped playing at one point because I got really bored of that. But then every time since that I've gone back, I wondered, why did I stop playing this? And then like 30 minutes into the game, after playing it like a few days, it's like, oh, I get it now.
Yeah.
Alright, we're gonna try and get a back attack at this guy. That didn't work. We're screwed. Let's just destroy it as fast as possible. Oh, Boney's dead. I'm not even gonna try and heal, I gotta kill this thing. Yes! Oh, yeah! Alright, so that worked. Snap, I really thought I would not actually do that. Those things are still tough. Alright, so that's an example of the power of the cattle snake.
Can you still hear me?
Yeah!
Okay.
Just gonna try and run away from the squawking boomsticks. Alright. I actually really like the part we're coming up to, because it's really when you start understanding what's going on, and that it's not exactly as... I mean, it never was innocent to begin with, but it's not exactly as random as you'd think it was. The Chimera Laboratory is basically where you finally figure out the dark intentions.
What was he trying to do again?
Porky?
Yeah.
He's basically just trying to destroy the world so that only he exists. Because he's a freaking idiot.
I don't even know if he knows what he's doing.
I don't think he knows what he's doing either. Because once again, he's just a kid with power. And kids with power, like, I don't think there's ever been, like, aside from, like, maybe Little Link from Zelda, I don't think there's ever been a kid with power that actually used it for good. Especially when they don't have a real point to have all that power. Like, they don't have... Porky doesn't have a goal with all this power. He's just a kid with power.
Yeah. I think Pine Sauce just started streaming.
What's he streaming today? Is he just streaming Kirby Planet Robobot?
I think it's like GTA 5.
Oh, okay. I'll have to catch that on Full Sauce. I saw the DS stream yesterday. The DS stream was great.
So, were you actually there?
Yeah, I was there. I actually posted a few messages in chat.
Oh wow, so that means I'll be able to actually go, you know what, let me do that right now.
It was just like nonsense messages. Like, he played freaking the Hi Hi Puffy Yumi game, and that's a cartoon that I remember from a large stupid horses, or horsantulas, I should say. But that's a cartoon that I remember watching quite a lot of on Cartoon Network. I think it was around the time of Chowder, and that was like a big time where I watched a lot of Cartoon Network, so that's why I remember it. It wasn't even a good show, but I watched it anyways.
Yeah, I think that's the case for, I remember, like, this was before, I think this is like the 90s, or like early 2000s, because I just go in my bedroom and just watch Cartoon Network. And this is before I started really, spending all my time playing video games.
Yeah, a large part of the cartoon stuff was basically just... It was everywhere before I started really playing video games. And, like, it was before I started playing video games, and then when I got into Pokemon, I still watched a whole lot of cartoons. And it was literally pretty much, like, it's kind of been on and off watching cartoons for me all up until, like, nearing the end of last school year, when I just stopped watching TV altogether.
Yeah.
But yeah. And it's not like there's not good shows on anymore, it's just that I haven't really wanted to watch TV when the internet has entertainment that you usually can skip ads on. And just, it kind of makes the internet a little bit superior to, TV, in a sense, because, like... Oh, pig mask. Anyways, it kind of makes it superior to TV because of the fact that with TV you have to wait for whatever program you want to watch to come on.
Right.
It's a waiting game. Like, say for example I wanted to watch Steven Universe, which is probably one of the better cartoons out these days in my opinion. And say I wanted to watch that, well, I probably would have to watch a few episodes of some other crappy cartoon before I watch that. And with the internet, you really don't have to do that. Like, say for example, you don't like an episode of whatever web series or something you're watching, just skip it and, you know, or wait, or go watch something else while you wait for the next one to, like... Yeah. And it just makes watching TV, like, a frustrating experience. Or cable/satellite, yeah. YouTube killed the cable star. Alright.
If I had my way like this... like, I don't have my own house, but, if I did, I'd probably not even have cable. Like, I'd just have internet, but no TV. 'Cause I
Yeah.
wouldn't need it.
I could totally live without having TV. Like, I know there's some people who already do that. Like, there's some people who just... Like, some of the people subscribe to Vinesauce have actually said that, like, all they do is just watch streams as entertainment.
Yeah.
And that's the reason why they're subscribed to him. Oh, you're that part-timer from the other day. Perfect time. Keep watch for me, will you? I'm gonna go outside and help look for some escaped monkeys. Alright, so we're going to do some more part-time work here in this apparently half-building, half-animal chimera. Speaking of which, I don't think I ever touched up on this, but the chimeras are actually nothing new for Andonets. Like, in Earthbound, basically the first chimera ever in Earthbound that was created by Andonets was Dungeon Man, which was that, like, known as Rick Road, the dungeon maker. And I think he, like, commissioned or something, or participated in an experiment with Andonets to create the first half-human, half-dungeon hybrid. And so, like, that was technically the first chimera.
So it was Dr. Andonets that did all of it?
Yeah. So basically, all of this is Dr. Andonets doing. This is all of his tech, all of his ideas.
Which makes me wonder, why hasn't Porky just been sacked?
Because Dr. Andonets is a complete wuss. Like, he's legit incredibly wussy. Like, I don't even know why Andonets is not freaking building a space laser to zap Porky with, instead of, like, actually going along with his dumb plans.
Seriously.
But you gotta realize that Andonets, despite being a super intelligent scientist, like, he's a complete wuss of a character. Alright, so I'm gonna save right here and withdraw some cash. Wait a minute, let me see what the stats on that stick was. What's the stats on the Friends Union? 30, speed 5. Yeah, I'm not gonna buy that stick. I will need to buy some healing items though.
Oh, here we go. I found all these things.
What?
Oh, here's the one, like, oh yeah, here we go. Oh, this is like today. You said, holy crap, I remember his show.
Yeah.
And then you said, at least the minimalist background is better than the brown sludge like most licensed 3D DS games.
Yeah. That's the one good thing about that, like, freaking game. I never owned that game. I never even knew that game existed. I just know the show existed because I watched it a lot.
What game was it?
It was Hi Hi Puffy Ami Yumi.
Right.
The Genie and the Amp or something like that. Just licensed trash as normal.
apparently there's also a Wii you had. Apparently there's also a Wii game that you had.
Oh, Chicken Shoot.
Right.
Chicken Shoot was a game that I got off of Scholastic Book magazine. And
Oh,
I
wow.
don't even think it was, like, even my doing. I can't remember. I think it was partially my brother's doing, because this was, like, way back. That's an old game, Chicken Shoot. That's, like, when I was still in, like, elementary. This was maybe a year or something after I first got my Wii. So it was probably sometime in, like, 2007, 2008 or something. But it was a terrible game. Granted, like, the graphics look better on the Wii than it did on the DS, because that's atrocious, but it was pretty bad. It had, like, 0 worth.
Yeah, if there's any console as known for its shovelware, it'd be the Wii.
Yeah. Spooky ghosts. Also, note the reason why they're...
Nothing. What is this area?
This is the Chimera Laboratory.
Right.
And note you haven't seen them yet, but the ghosts... the reason why the ghosts are here, is because the pig masks wrecked the, castle that they were living in, so they just kind of moved into this building to spite them.
Right. Forgot what I was gonna say. Oh. That was about the shovelware, because I'm thinking, like, you know, a lot of companies, like, had really high license fees to, like, combat the shovelware. And then I'm thinking, well, you know, like, say on the PC, like, with indie games and whatnot, you'd say that 90% of them were crap.
Yeah.
But the thing is, you can't, like, you know, only 10% is going to be really good, but the thing is, if you try to remove the 90% of the crap, you're also going to be removing the 10%.
Yeah.
It's impossible to remove one without the other.
I don't think there's ever been, a console that didn't have shovelware trash on it. Like, even consoles that didn't last more than a month before being cancelled had stuff equivalent to shovelware in terms of quality.
Right. And it's like, what are the most memorable consoles?
64, PlayStation, Xbox 360. I'm not sure about the Xbox, because the Xbox was still trying to get legs to stand on.
Yeah,
but 360 is one, because, like, that's when everyone bought it and said that it was better than PlayStation.
Right. At least in the early days of the Xbox.
And people are still saying that, though. Despite the fact that the Xbox has screwed up more times than anyone can count.
Right. And about the Xbox, like the original Xbox, back when it was, like the current thing, I didn't know anyone who had an Xbox.
Like, I've known people, like, now I even know people who have Xbox, but even I still don't own an Xbox product. I've never owned anything Microsoft related other than the computer.
Right. And I'm thinking, like, by the time the Xbox 360, I don't know, like, but when the original the original Xbox came out, you can't call it Xbox One anymore. When the original Xbox came out, I didn't know anyone who had one. It was all either PS2 or Game. Like, most people had a PS2, and less people had a GameCube. But nobody had an Xbox.
Yeah. But then 360 came out, and suddenly, like, what what is the Nintendo anymore. There's only 2 consoles in this world, and it's those 2.
Yeah, it's like, I don't even know what happened. Is like, I think the Wii was like not HD.
Yeah, that's the main reason why. It's because for the first time ever, people started like using the fact that the Wii and pretty much all Nintendo products aside from the first one, and to some extent SNES, because it really didn't have much competitors. Like the tech that Nintendo has pretty much always used, has always been like lower quality. Like it's not as high tech as the rest. So it was the first time people used that as a way to tell people, oh, you shouldn't buy this. It's not as powerful as these 2. And then all the Xbox and PlayStation fanboys were like to the Wii, I mean, it was nothing.
It was also the time when they started they had controller gimmicks for the first time.
Yeah. And the reason why is, like, everyone was like, oh, the Wii is nothing. But at the same time, here we have PlayStation and Xbox seeing Wii is like, oh yeah, we could do that. We could totally do that. And then they failed miserably, but... like...
It's like... The players are like, oh, it's not powerful enough, it's not HD, and then the developers are like, we don't want to develop for this crappy, like, Wiimote.
Yeah. And then you have the rest of them, like, realize, oh, wait a minute. This is selling more units than we thought. We need to steal their ideas quick.
And then you have,
And then you have freaking PlayStation Move, the Kinect. And the Kinect is such a terrible story, too, because, like, the Kinect it had potential, but it was never good. But yet, for the longest time, because Microsoft didn't want to admit defeat, they were like, oh yeah, the Kinect is good, yeah, we're gonna support this.
They didn't want to admit it.
Until, like, 2014 is when they finally said, yeah, we admit that the Kinect wasn't a good idea, so we're gonna stop supporting it now.
Right. So, and that's when, the misfortune began. And then there were 2 consoles.
Yeah.
And,
okay, so basically, what we're doing here is 2 monkeys have escaped, and those monkeys are obviously Salsa and his girlfriend. So, they've been causing a bunch of, like, ruckus here, so as part-time workers, we have to go and find them.
Right.
So right now we're just exploring. But not everything is going to stay regular here for long. Because coming up very soon, if you know this game, you'll know that the part coming up here very soon is incredibly panic striking. Oh, and also, crap, I forgot what I was gonna say. Also, we get to see, what happened to, or what caused the, stuff going on with the Mecha Drago in the first chapter.
Right.
And I actually have a thing to talk about when we get up to where Drago is kept. These are just bone, skeletal specimens of chimeras and stuff.
What is the bird?
The bird is the buzzard. Or not, the bald... What is it, like, the balding eagle from the chapter with Mecha Drago. Oh, wait. Aww, it's a baby Drago. Here's unidentified objects and formaldehyde. Here's stuffed specimens of more enemies, including the balding eagle, Persantula, dogfish, which we haven't come across yet, but we will. Frontal Kangaskar, mushroom, Matingutan, which I think we saw once, but we still haven't battled yet. Cattle snake, Australophant,
Oh boy.
and the agitated boar. There's only 2 animals in this room that are actually just regular animals, the rest are chimeras. And now we have brain specimens and nervous system specimens.
Oh boy.
I'm actually not going to talk to them yet because I have more things to look at. But yeah. So this is the spooky science level of this, basically. Alright, here's the place we want to be in. So this is the Chimera operating table. This is where they make the things. And go down here to find a frozen Drago. And this Drago is actually pretty notable because originally, somewhere in some form of this game, this was supposed to be a boss. The frozen Drago was supposed to, like, you were supposed to be able to switch the cooling thing off, and it ends up melting. And then attacking you.
Boss? I guess it would have been an optional boss.
Yeah. But there's actually an unused music track in the game for a harder version of Mecha Drago's theme, with, like, it breaks up the beat with several just, like, pauses.
Right.
But that goes completely unused, so it's implied that that could have possibly been for a second Drago boss, and the only reason there'd be a second Drago boss is if this thing melted. Because other than that, there'd be no other reason a Drago would attack you in this game after you destroyed Mecha Drago. Oh, hold on. Frozen Rex, yes. Hi, Roy 004227. Also, here's another Easter egg if I can find it. Yes. Here it is. Alright, there's 2 references to Earthbound here. And these weren't added in by... Like, note that this is a fan-translated version by Tomato. A professional translator. And he did have to change a few jokes in the game just because they weren't really good at translating. Like, just because the jokes or whatever were just not really good when it came to translating into English. But pretty much all the references are all from the game. Because, like, just so you know, since this is a translated version by fans, but it's pretty much as pure as you can get. Roy says, oh, someone who has knowledge of the game. That's really rare. Yeah, I've spent a lot of my time.
You know what's gonna suck?
What?
When Nintendo releases a translated version of this,
and it's sucky or whatever, or they change the references or something.
Yeah, it's just gonna be worse than this because
I mean, this is the best it gets. Aside from I think a few spelling errors that they have probably patched out by now because I haven't seen any yet. Like, this is about as good as a translation as you'll ever get out of any game like this. Fan translations are always better in my opinion, because they're not doing it for the casheroonies or for meeting the NA standards. A bunch of bureaucratic now. Yep, NA standards. Like, fans do this just out of love. Like, you actually have to have care and time if you want to translate something in order for it to be good, and the fact that this translation is so good shows. And, alright, so this is, the story I'm about to read here that I found, in this bookcase off to the side, is actually something that is a secret in Earthbound, where you can buy, like, I think it was like $10,000 suite in Want, and it was just like this little seaside house that you see in Want, but you obviously couldn't purchase yet. But by the end of the game, you'll have enough money, so you can just purchase it then. And so, if you look into the drawer in the little suite that you bought, you'll find this story here. So, here it is. Secret Life, Chapter 3. Story from the previous chapter. I was neither a murder suspect nor a target for international spy organization. But I drove a car down the Jersey Turnpike at 80 miles per hour. A police officer pulled me over and asked for my driver's license. He said that I was going 20 miles per hour over the speed limit. He instantly pointed to my wife and said, I'm in a hurry. My wife is in labor. Unfortunately, my wife actually just had a really big stomach. I hoped he let me go with this excuse. Oh, since it's an emergency, I'll lead you to the hospital with my police car, he said. No, it's not necessary. Why not? Asked the officer. Well... Let's get going, said the officer. No, we can't. Baby's a demon child. And basically, I think that was like some kind of short... It was a reference that Mr. Etoy put in the game originally, in Mother 2.
Right.
And I think it came off of a novel or something that he was reading. But it was basically just a joke because the guy didn't want to deal with the police officer, so he made up a ludicrous excuse. I'm still waiting for Fangamer to... Yes! Did you know that they actually restocked after the, what was the fundraiser again for? I think the fundraiser was for, crap. There was a fundraiser that Fangamer held, like, last year or something like that. And they ended up finally restocking the, Mother 3 handbooks, but I assume that now they're sold out again. And Fangamer is just a fan-ran website, if you don't know. That Like, they sell a lot of really cool merch related to things like Undertale, Earthbound.
That's neat.
Yeah, and it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool because, like, it's like quality content. It's quality content. It's not like something off of Redbubble or whatever. Like, the Undertale merch is actually official by, like, it was approved by Toby. Alright. Oh yeah, here's another reference, Overcoming Shyness, which is a book that you have to get for some, cave-dwelling people known as the Tendas in Earthbound because they're super shy. So you bring them that book and, it cures them of their shyness.
What?
In Earthbound Tendas, there's these, like, cave-dwelling things.
Right.
That looked like gummy candies or something. But they were known as the Tendas, and you wouldn't be able to actually speak to anyone except for the Elder, because none of them would say anything other than that they're shy and that they don't like to talk. So in order to get any info about where the next, your place is, the, sanctuary, in order to get info about where that is, you actually have to go bring them a book called Overcoming Shyness in order to cure them.
Right.
Alright, so now we have to go chase the monkeys around here. Except, surprise mini-boss! The almost mecha lion suddenly attacked. Sold out in December, maybe it was early January. Yeah. And also, even though the Undertale stuff is licensed, the, Mother and Earthbound stuff is all fan-made. So that's the reason why they sell out of that stuff really quick, because it's all, like, produced in pretty much in-house or in local production things. I don't even know what I'm saying anymore. Oh my gosh. Let's find Darkaholic. If I don't win this fight, I might have to do it again. This guy's such a ridiculous attack. I don't have any mobs for bowling right. It's at this point in the game where you start missing having Kumatora, because had I had Kumatora, I could have just shocked this thing with lightning. And within 2 turns, he'd be dead. I'm just gonna spam him with all the PK roll. Actually, I'll use life up on Bone to keep him from dying. nothing in the damage department. It had pretty cool. It is pretty cool merchandise. The book is something I've been wanting for a while. Also, yeah, they're working on the Earthbound one. They teased that for the fundraiser for whatever it was. I think it was the Camp Fangamer fundraiser or something like that. But yeah, that Earthbound one's gonna be cool. Lion still has yet to poison me. But he definitely inflicted fire damage.
I'm still thinking what I should play after this.
I have no idea. Just whatever game sounds like a good idea. Oh, Lucas is dead. He got like so many hits on him all at once. Oh wait, yeah! That's another good thing about the mementos, is that they also, heal you as kind of a, fairy in a bottle sort of sense. But I don't know what you could play. I guess just whatever you want.
Yeah, I'm still thinking about it.
Alright, so that's good, that's good. I forgot I had the memento. Let's destroy this guy. Oh, now Pony's dead. How much, like, freaking... Yes! Ooh! So how often do you play Mother 3? I've been playing it once a stream day, for the past few weeks now. Because I'm trying to finish it before summer's over. And also, note that if you want to see some Undertale, I was thinking about breaking up the Mother 3 streams since, for a while now I've just been doing big blocks of Mother 3, until I finally broke it up with some Super Metroid, which is pretty fun if you want to watch Super Metroid. You'll probably find it entertaining because it's a blind run. There goes the lion. But I'm gonna be breaking up the Mother 3 block that I used to do with some Undertale genocide run. So, yeah, after warming up with some Mother 3, we'll really get down into the, like, the terrible, guttural fare of freaking Undertale genocide.
Oh boy.
Yeah, they were quite a bit more sparse, so don't feel so bad. I'm still recently started streaming, so my commentary and everything is...
Yeah, I feel like we both have to,
get good at commentary.
Yeah. I remember the very first day, though, like, when we started streaming Minecraft. That had amazing commentary.
Yeah. And then everything
The
after
audio
that
was-
just sort of... Just...
Yeah.
was also pretty terrible because even though the commentary was good, the audio was not.
Yeah.
And so everyone in the chat was complaining.
Not to mention, I didn't look at the chat, which is
Yeah,
weird.
like I didn't even look at the chat either. So yeah. But yeah, we're still trying to get good at quality streams. The one, you mean the red one with the huge mouth? They're talking about some chimeras that got, like, that escaped. So the only one left is, well, a red one with a huge mouth. Which, even if you don't know Mother 3, if you've played Smash Bros. Brawl, you'll know what this is. Standing here won't solve anything. For now, let's hurry and seal the exits. Watch yourself, guys. And this is where spooky, creepy science lab becomes horror. Hey, cute part-timer. There's actually one more that's still lurking around here somewhere. One that's way more dangerous than the ones just now. If, while looking for the monkeys, you happen to see a red thing with a gigantic mouth, get the heck out of there. Listen, pay close attention now. If you run into a red, huge mouth chimera, do absolutely nothing to it. Got that? Warned you. While I'm warning you like this, I should add that it'd be even more dangerous not to take time out to talk with that frog. Alright, be careful now. And basically he's saying if you touch it, you die. It's literally a one-hit kill. This is the part of the game where you actually feel like you're playing some kind of horror game, because you can do nothing to stop the progression of the chimera other than just leaving the room in hopes that it won't follow you. Sorry, I'm not chatting much. I'm playing Hyrule Warriors. That's not a problem. I heard Hyrule Warriors was fun. 3DS version or Wii U version, Roy? Here it comes. Let's see the next room. Oh wait, he just has the same dialogue as a regular. Alright, so this is... Also note that in this part of the chapter, this is how you, know where the chimera is. If the room sounds scary like this, like it doesn't have any real music, that's when you know the chimera's in some other room. But if the room does have music, like just regular spooky lab music as normal, that's when you know that you're in the same room as the chimera. So they reversed the music order here. Can't believe I got a sight to this post. Secret herb. Oh, and here's that parrot from, the old guy's house. I wish I could play Mother 3. Sadly, I don't have a computer. I have the ROM on my phone, but it's hard to play. Hell, constantly scrolling and the buttons being so close. I have both, but I'm playing on the OGDS. There's a lot of people who watch on their phones. Yeah.
Yeah, I noticed that, like, there's just a lot of people who show up in the chat and they're like, I'm watching.
Yeah. Yeah, there's just a lot of people who watch this on their phones. I watch this on my iPad. Like, I watch Vinesoft streams.
Yeah. And I don't... And I feel like I feel like that old guy who sits in the wheelchair because I've never liked the phone.
Yeah.
The UI was just
I've
real
never liked
confusing.
phones. I just like the iPad because it's so easy to just, like, lay back and watch YouTube. Because the YouTube interface sucks, but it's better than just standard mobile interface. The mobile
Right.
interface doesn't even let you comment. Or maybe they fix that. I don't know. But the one time when I started watching YouTube, I started watching on a solely mobile platform
Right.
on an iPod, and that was torture. Like, I could watch the videos fine, but I couldn't, like, do anything else. Everything else was dysfunctional as heck. And also with the iPad, it also allows you to, it usually at the bottom of most sites, or sometimes at the top, you can set it to view web browser version.
Yeah.
And I wonder who this is. I realize you haven't asked, but my name is Dr. Ananas, being forced to conduct various sorts of research by a certain man. Certainly, though, I've tried to conceal myself for certain reasons.
Oh boy.
I'm a bit occupied at the moment. Could you come back at a better time? No, see exactly how wussy he is. He's the lead scientist, and he's hiding in a trash can.
Yeah.
Alright, so we're gonna want to save alive, because the Chimera is really hard to outrun if it happens to spot you. The rude one will stand right outside the room if you start to panic, but you could lure it into a trap if you used your advantage. So smart. I can't believe how smart I am. Ow. And there's just a bunch of hiding pig masks. Uh-oh. mm. Yep, it's right outside the room. We're gonna run for it. Wait, this room is nothing. Alright, this is where we want it. This containment room is where we need it. Still on that. Oh crap, it's in here now. Oh wait, no it's not. Also note if you hear the ka-chunk sound, that's where you know it's changed rooms.
Right.
Oh. It's following me. GBA horror games. Here's the plan. I escape into a room when the red one's waiting outside. She's already standing in front of the room. I want to go in. Mad dash for the next room over instead. Brilliant. So smart. I can't believe how smart I am. Mm. Oh man, I think we're screwed. Wait. Okay. Wait, maybe not. It's still following us though. I can't remember if you can go into this room. I don't think you can. see if I can... Forgot what I'm supposed to be doing here. Try going up to the 3rd floor. Oh, over here. You see a pig mask on the other side of this. It's funny because if you went on the other side, the pig mask would be standing over here, so you can never actually talk to this pig mask.
So he's always on the opposite side?
Yeah. And he doesn't even have any dialogue, too, so it's not like you were supposed to talk to him.
So is there any, like, default dialogue?
Default dialogue is... Default dialogue is no problem here.
Like, what would happen if you actually did talk to him?
Via no clip, which I'm not even sure if, like, I can do that without the debug version of this game. I don't know a whole lot of Game Shark codes for this. But if you actually went over there and attempted to talk to him, I don't even know if he probably, considering he's probably the same thing as a regular NPC, he'd probably turn around and make the talking animation with the hands moving and stuff. But chances are all his dialogue will say is no problem here.
Right. That makes sense.
Why is this chimera everywhere I go to? Watch him turn him in a moment, so that's fine. Alright. Alright. He's right at the room where I need to go to. Just change rooms for like a second.
Good to know that this thing still works.
What?
I wrote a program, like, about a year ago that, converts sound into pictures.
Oh, snap!
It's like, I mean, it's not that special, it's just like a software TV. You know, like analog TV. And the reason I made it is just because, I like the, technology.
Yeah.
I think it's simple and elegant. I mean, it works just like, radio, like, old radio doesn't have glitches like modern stuff does.
Yeah.
It's perfect.
Chimera or Kimura or whatever it's called. Yeah. Speaking of which, Chimera is like Pokemon Arceus' name. No one can figure out how to properly pronounce that thing. Just made an excuse and left. So we gotta go find these monkeys. So there's gonna be the key for stopping it. Even though we don't quite know it yet. Bird Tybers, you sure do hard work. You're really something. You should probably get out of this building as fast as you can.
Oh boy.
The monkey. I let the red one escape out of its cage. done for now. There's the monkeys. Alright, let's run up and catch them. Nothing's here. Ooh. Watch it, watch it. Like, if I stood in that room longer before that cutscene happened, the ultimate Chimera would have just, like, busted through the door. Here it is. I just remembered the Chimera's weakness, so I mustered up the courage to come here.
I'm sorry. I might stop working for a bit.
That's fine. It's a high-tech battery-operated Chimera. In other words, if we set the power switch on its back to off, it'll stop.
Captain Obvious.
Yeah. If we press the red button on its back, it'll probably stop working.
I love it was a bird on its head.
Yeah, the bird, the reason why the bird's there is to, when the power button is off, it just jumps on top of the switch to turn it back on. It's a foolproof Chimera, clearly. There's a large button on its back. You need to press it. Come on now, be courageous. Use the dog as bait. And the monkey saves the day. Oh. Thank you, lad and monkey. I think I'll use this as the opportunity to leave the military and devote my life to making all living things happy. Oh. You agree with my idea? Thank you, dog. The dog's like, frick you for trying to feed me to that stupid pink thing. Okay. I'm sorry. I was merely joking around about the bait thing. Sure you were. Simple misunderstanding. You have it all wrong. Salsa joined your party. Get Salsa back as a temporary party member again. But it is not dead yet. For a creature like this could not die so easily. And thus the use of the bird. We have to follow the monkey. Near this pond, I think we can fight some fish chimera. Specifically the dogfish. See if we can get this trigger. Apparently not. And after this part, I'm gonna switch over to Super Metroid.
Yeah. Yeah, it's been an hour.
Yeah. Let's open this door. power of dancing monkeys. Oh, wait, what? How did this go again? I think it was rain. So how is Jeff's father here? Porky brought him. It's all Porky's doing. Porky brought him from Earthbound time. And, took him over here and forced him to make tech for him.
Which is one of the most bizarre things I've ever seen.
Yeah. And also it's pretty ridiculous because note that this is another thing that I forgot to touch up on, like, in the original conversation. When we started this stream, Roy, we had this massive conversation on one of the parts, I think it was like part 4 or something, where we just talked about the logic behind Porky and everything he's done so far. Like, Porky didn't even, like, know who Andonuts was before stealing the Phase Distorter. That's the only time he actually meets Andonuts. And then somehow he gets the brilliant idea that he's just the person he needs to make his empire. Alright, so this is about to start a cutscene, which it leads into a story part, so I'm gonna actually save this.
Okay.
Yes. We will continue this tomorrow. So we can see exactly what these two lakes are here for, and exactly what we have to do. And exactly what that glowing thing is under the lake, which, spoiler alert, it's definitely not at all a needle. Of course not. Alright, so, wham. Alright. Wait.
Wah.
Wait, Luigi. Hold on, I'll be right back. I'm gonna go get a drink of water, so enjoy this image of the stream opening.